Counselling should be free. I agree. I've been running ads across Facebook and Instagram in Brisbane, Queensland, and that's been one of the biggest comments that we've been getting. Also, how can you charge $167 a session for an hour? I'll explain why. And it might come across as I'm trying to justify why I charge or why I exist. I'm not actually trying to justify. I want to give you some information. You could call it gratitude resilience. Resilience in the fact that I'm dealing and talking about comments or complaints about me, but also being grateful that you've given those comments, those complaints, so we can actually address them here in this forum. In Australia currently, to be Medicare funded or to be able to utilise a mental health care plan and for you as the patient or the client to get money back or to not have to pay for it, you need to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Currently in Australia, we have 26,311 registered psychologists. All right? We've got 3,615 psychiatrists. They're eligible for Medicare, which means you don't have to pay for it, which is obviously a great thing. We've also got 33,000 counsellors across Australia that could help you for free if Medicare enabled them to be able to provide that service for you. And it would mean that you could get 10, 15, I think it's now 20 sessions you can get through Medicare. That's if you're lucky enough to be able to get through to a psychologist or a psychiatrist who hasn't actually closed their waiting list, which many of them have across Australia. As we know, across the world right now, we're in a pandemic. We have got the most mental health issues and cases and people wanting support than ever before. And the Australian government won't allow counsellors to be on the Medicare benefits fund, which means if you want help, and in the situation, that I work in, addiction counselling, and also now mental health care plans, you have to pay. So what have I done to make it better for you? I've developed a mental health care plan that means you're paying the gap fee that sometimes exists between you going to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist and what Medicare will actually give you back. That's the gap fee. And that's $90 per 30-minute session. 30-minute session when you've got lots of stuff on your mind to talk about is not really enough. But I'm offering that to help you out because I reckon that I should be able to give you the Medicare benefits. So I'm doing what I can there to help you. Addiction counselling or a full hour of a mental health care plan with me is going to cost you $167. You might say that's too much. However, what we're trying to do is to provide a service to you. And the benefit of going to a private practice compared to a psychologist or a psychiatrist that you might not even be able to get into in your area and you might need to travel distances are quite actually extensive. And across a forum that I'm involved in, for counsellors, this was shared and I thought you might be interested in hearing this. If you're not Medicare funded, there's a flexibility of the modality that can be used. So what's a modality? A modality is a form of counselling, a counselling concept or a counselling theme. So CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, is what's used with the Medicare mental health care plans with psychologists and psychiatrists. The concept of CBT is short-term therapy. And with short-term therapy, the concept is that we give you things to do, changing your negative thought patterns or the patterns that have led you to whatever's going on for you in your life. So it's short-term therapy. That's not necessarily the best therapy for everybody because there's lots of different types of therapy. So if you don't have a mental health care plan with a psychologist or a psychiatrist and you go to private practice, such as MC Counselling, there's a flexibility of the modality that can be used. As you've probably seen in many of my posts, whether it be me doing a video for you or whether it being an actual written post, I talk about using lots of different modalities depending on you as an individual. because everybody is an individual. We're human beings, we're not robots. So that requires a different form of treatment or a different form of counselling for every single person. And with private practice, you get that. You also have client engagement associated with personal investment. So depending on how much money you've got, you can decide how many sessions you want, not dictated by the government, 5, 10 or 20 sessions, depending on who you're actually going to see. You also control your privacy, because if you've got a mental health care plan with Medicare and with a psychiatrist or with a psychologist, your details are recorded in your health record, My Health Record, as part of MyGov. And so that means that those details are available to lots of other medical professionals as well. And a lot of the time, if you're coming to see me, say for addiction counselling, it's not something that you really want the whole world to know that you've got an addiction to ice, to heroin, to cannabis, to alcohol, and that you're receiving help for it because it's actually causing problems in your life. I hope this has helped to understand exactly what's going on. I'm losing my words here. Because I want you to have the best help possible. MC Counselling is here for you, and you don't need to go to your doctor to get a mental health care plan. You can book a session with me, and what we can do with that session is let you talk about what's going on for you. Then I can develop a mental health care plan for you and address the issues that you want to address, that you find are holding you back. Of course, there's some can't even speak. There's some exceptions to this as well. The exceptions are, I'm not a prescriber, so I can't prescribe medication if you think you require medication. So only psychiatrists can do that, and clinical psychologists. The good thing is, once you've seen your psychiatrist, you can go back to your GP to get that script filled. However, you might be waiting a while. And in Australia, depending on where you live, that wait can be 6 months, it can be 12 months, or it can be a lot longer as well. I'd love my friends from the UK, from the USA, from Canada, from other countries as well, to let me know the waiting times that you've got to wait to get free help with your mental health. Right now, mental health is so important. I've posted in many posts on Instagram and on Facebook and across LinkedIn as well, the importance of mental health and it being the most important thing in your life right now. You need to look after your mental health. And yes, I'm giving you a directive. You need to look after your mental health, because if you don't deal with your mental health, you actually can't function very well at all, leading to suicidality, leading to drug addiction, even worse than what it is now. And with the drugs that are coming into the country, and I'm talking illegal drugs, they're not actually really getting here, are they? And so if they're not getting here, there's not many drugs here, and so they're being mixed with lots and lots of terrible things. And when I say terrible things, battery acid to, I can't think of something right now, but I think you get the idea. And so you're not actually getting the drug that you like, you're getting it mixed with a whole cocktail of other things, which is definitely not a good thing and actually worse for your health. Mental health, make it your priority. MC Counselling has still got a few spots available. However, as you know, in the past few weeks, we have definitely expanded, so much so that we'll almost be out of positions available for you to be a client of MC Counselling. I know this video has been long, and yes, I've lost my thought halfway through it, but I wanted this to be as authentic as possible. I've got a couple of notes here, but I am basically doing this off the top of my head because it's something that I've been thinking about for quite some time now. My name's Mike Carroll. I'm from MC Counselling, Addiction Counselling for the Globe, and I'm here to help you. Thanks for listening.